9,867 is the number I would tell you if you asked me how many guides I grind per year that I put on a freshwater fishing rod. Reason why I say freshwater is because if you grind a saltwater guide, this paint is a protectant against rust and corrosion and whatnot. So freshwater, we don't really have that issue. So I do grind these guides. The reason why I grind those guides, I'm getting a tighter, more packed wrap, a smoother transition from the rod blank onto the guide foot itself, which is going to give you a better hold because you have more wraps around the rod. Today I'm going to talk about how I grind my guides. This is just for example, this is a BCK LAG. This is a Fuji K-Series high frame guide. Typically I'll hold this in my hand while I grind it, but I build a lot of bass rods, a lot of casting rods. So I'm using, double foots from 8 down to a 5. Single foots, I grind a lot of size 5. This is a BCK TAG5. It's a very small guide. Sometimes I go down to a 4. So anything from like an 8 down as far as a single foot, I use these surgical pliers. I can't tell you how many guides I've grinded with these surgical pliers, maybe 50,000. It's a pretty big number. So before I get started, I'm gonna take this BCK LAG 20 and I'm just gonna kind of show you a little demonstration here. I'm gonna actually Dremel it in a second, but what I do is I hold the Dremel still and I use my left hand, obviously it doesn't matter lefty or righty, whatever, vice versa, and I kind of just rock the guide back and forth. So I'm not just focusing on the tip here, but I'm trying to get the sides, and the importance of getting the sides and not only the tip, you'll see it when you go to wrap a guide. It's gonna make wrapping the guide a whole lot easier. Now, sometimes if you're starting out, and obviously you're not gonna have a feel for it because you're just starting out and this takes practice, you're going to sometimes maybe nick the front side of the guide. And you gotta be extremely careful with that because that can damage the rod blank. You want the bottom side of the guide that's resting on the blank itself, no under wrap, to be as smooth as possible so that you're not scoring that rod blank. We all know what scores due to a rod blank. It can cause premature failure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grind this. Obviously it's gonna make some noise. You're gonna see how I'm gonna use that back and forth rocking motion. I'm gonna keep the Dremel in my hand steady. I like to rest it up against my chest like this. And here we go. You can see I'm starting to slowly work towards the top of the guide or the end of the foot. And now I'm going to go back to probably about a quarter way up the guide foot. And I'm getting the edges. All right. So as you can see, there's no damage on the bottom of the guide foot. That's completely smooth. And if I take this guide foot like this and put it up against my fingernail, I don't know if you can get that, but you can see the leading edge and the sides here are grinded. And that's gonna give you a super smooth transition when you go to wrap that guide. Now I'm gonna go ahead, surgical pliers. Again, these things have lasted me, I think I've had them for like 6 or 7 years now. They're amazing, great investment. You can find them anywhere on the internet. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, it has 3 little notches here. I'm just gonna grab right towards the very end. Can you see that? Just like that. You can find these all over too, at Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever your favorite hardware store is. This is a 1/4 inch right here. And then I think it's 100 grit. And then this is an 1/8 inch. Normally when you buy a pack of these, they'll come with the little adapter. So I'm gonna grab a fresh, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this in. Just like that, make sure that's nice and tight. Another thing that I wanted to mention real quick, when I grind these guides, I don't just wear a face shield. I have my air purifier on, and I also wear this mask as well. We don't know the chemicals that they use to paint these guides. Fuji does an amazing job as far as protecting the guide itself. I don't know what's in the paint. It's just better to be safe than sorry, guys. I grind so many of these, so again, I don't want to have health issues down the road. So if you build a lot of rods, just make sure you wear protection. Just like that. Same exact thing that I did with the 1/4 inch with the BCK LAG 20, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna rest my Dremel up against my chest, take these surgical pliers, and I'm gonna do that same rocking motion. It's just in a smaller version. It's a little more difficult, and it goes a lot faster, you'll see. All right, so here you can see the tip of the guide is grinded. The sides are grinded as well, that I get from the rocking motion. And the underside of the guide is still in perfect shape. I didn't nick that tip. Guys, with time, I'd probably suggest to practice on a less expensive guide until you get it down. This does take some time. Some guys use a belt sander. I haven't met anyone that grinds more guides than me. This is just something that works for me. Not saying a belt sander doesn't work. It may be safer, it may be faster. I don't know. This is really fast for me. As you can see here, I just grinded these guides. This took me probably 10 minutes. I always say the best way is what works for you. There is no, this is better than that. Like if it works for you guys, it works for you. This is what's worked for us. So we're gonna continue to do this. And until the next video, happy building.